pleased to be back at work. It's really, it's just good to be back in the fray, and looking forward to, a few rides on the 26th, Boxing Day, and slowly progressing into a more busy schedule as January approaches.
Can you talk us through the recovery process?
Well, it was pretty basic. I mean, I had a fractured scapula and 3 fractured vertebrae, so really, as much as I was eager and attempting to ride International Day, it was quite clear after a couple of weeks that was that wasn't the right thing to do. So once I made that decision, I really just took it easy for the remaining time. After sort of 5 weeks, I started to build some light fitness back into myself, but it's going to take time, and given the current cold conditions, it makes things even a little more difficult. But that said, very enthusiastic about returning. It's great to be back on the horses. I felt a little bit wayward my first morning a few days ago, but having ridden at the trials this morning, the progression's been really good. The muscle memory's come back really well, so looking forward to getting to the races.
Is there 1 or 2 horses you're really looking forward to getting back on now you are back?
Look, I haven't thought so much about trying to identify a real horse. I mean, obviously California Spangle will come up very soon. Looking forward to riding him again. But really it's more about trying to get myself in shape and feeling as good as I can for where I'm at in the process. And it's going to take a few weeks. So I'm not oblivious to that, and I'll continue to work as hard as I can within reason to get myself back to where I need to be.
Jamie, Seasons Wit is a rather interesting runner on the Boxing Day card, trying a new surface, and back to Shartin, having been quite successful at Happy Valley. How is he leading up to this?
He's in good form. A little bit of a disappointing run from him last time, trying 1200 for the first time at the Valley. Drew out and had to do a little bit of work and compounded late, but he's had a little bit of time between runs. He's had a trial. And we've always had in the back of our mind to try him on the surface at some stage.
His recent trial, as you mentioned, was on the all-weather. Obviously won that, beat the likes of Woodfire Broad, Ching, Youthful Deal, amongst others. So had a few decent ones behind him, and he looked to go well in that trial.
Yeah, he did. Trialled nicely, but obviously the trials and the pace of the trials are a lot different to race day. But it's only a sort of a small field. It's the same horses that always go around in that grade, and hopefully, he can be a nice chance.
Mark Newnham, now you've got a newcomer racing on the 26th by the name of KYEEMA, who has had a few stamps in the passport, this horse, and is now wound up in Hong Kong with you.
Yeah, look, he started off in the UK, and he was bought by Mr. Cheng to race in Sydney, and then when I got a licence here, he had a permit and decided to send him here after a couple of starts in Sydney. He ran very well. His last start at Rose Hill, he ran second.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the next sort of question, really, is the fact that he was racing around Rose Hill, so he clearly is of decent standing.
Yeah, and look, he's got solid form. He's only starting off at 1,000, but since he's been here, he's been pretty sharp in his trials. So just thought it was a good starting point for him.
How happy were you with his recent trial? I mean, he's run second to Baby Crystal. You've had some of the top jockeys trialling him too.
Yeah, Zach's been happy to stick with him, so that's always a good sign. And look, the form around his trials is good. It looks, he's handled the straight well in both his trials, so looks a good starting point. And
you're starting to unleash, Mark, a few newcomers, of course. Obviously, it all takes time, but this horse and others amongst them, obviously, nice to get them on the track. Yeah,
and look, that's been the key to it, is just a bit of patience, really. I've got a lot of new horses in the stable, and a few of those will be coming out on Boxing Day, and a few more in January.
Pierre Jumbo Fortune is a horse who finally got his head in front. I imagine that must have been quite a fulfilling win for you.
Oh, definitely for the owners as well. And last run was brave, carrying the top weight in Class 4, and now he's running his mile. I think he is suitable as well.
You're running him again quick. Now, might this just be the time, perhaps, to catch a horse like him once again, now that he's sort of got his head in front? Is he maybe a confidence type of horse, in your opinion?
He's starting to get more confidence from the last start, and I just hopefully when he's back up to Class 3 and he can do a little bit more, to get in prize money for owners.
They put him up £5, Pierre. Now he's off a mark of 65. I mean, he came with a pretty lofty rating, so I mean, the talent, the ability's always been there, and I guess going back up in grade might not affect him too badly.
I don't think it affected him because 2 races ago he had a good run, and it wasn't a clear run for him, and I do think he has a chance.
I mean, one day last season, actually going back to his record for you, he ran a nice race over this trip under Zach Penn. I think he was only beat about half a length off 71. So I guess that would sort of fill you with a bit of confidence as well.
Yeah, we just when he got up down to class 4, we just try to win one and come back up and do it again.
Horses continue to race well. Long may that continue also.
Yeah, as long as they keeping their fitness and healthy, and hopefully can do a bit more.